What's going on, people? Welcome back to Curtis Shaw TV, back with another transfer talk. Before we get into the video, keep subscribing to the channel. I'm close to that 5,000 subscriber mark. Really appreciate all your brilliant support so far. At the start of the season, when I started the channel, never expected it would be at this kind of subscriber count, so thank you for all your brilliant support. Let me know in the comments what you think about what we're going to talk about today and smash that thumbs up button. So today, the big headline news again, it's that man Jerome Boateng. It seems now he is Arsenal's #1 target when it comes to defensive problems that we've got at centre-back. And I'm not surprised, Arsenal are very much like, we're hustlers in the market, especially in the January market, Think back to some of the windows we've had, Kim Kallstrom, Dennis Suarez, Gabriel Paulista, Mohamed El Neni. We don't often go big in the January window. I think the biggest January window I can think of really is Aubameyang, and that was circumstantial because we lost Alexis Sanchez in that January. We also sold players for big money the previous summer, the likes of Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, who we got like nearly £40 million for. So we're not notorious big spenders in January, and the Boateng deal seems to be the #1 centre-back option at the moment, and I just think the deal financially suits Arsenal. That's why I think they would like to go for the likes of Demiral and Upamecano. Reading about Demiral, it seems like Juventus are now saying they're not prepared to sell him. I think they realise that, look, he's a big talent. He's only 21 years of age. Chiellini's had a big injury this season. Bonucci's in his 30s now as well. Rugani, there's question marks over how good he is. So I think they're looking at Demiral and sort of thinking, can they really afford to sell him? So I think that deal is going to be very difficult to get done. And Upamecano, again, Leipzig saying they won't sell him. They want at least £70 million for him in this window. Arsenal are not going to lay that kind of money down in this window. And certainly not in a major instalment. Maybe if they can pay bit by bit, Arsenal are sort of the cash generators of the transfer market, buy now, pay later. But Leipzig are financially well off, and they want big money and they want the majority of it straight away. And also, they're top of the Bundesliga. So I think that's a very difficult deal as well for Arsenal to get done. Look, Jerome Boateng, it's split people's opinions, and I understand why. People want a younger, a defender with bigger potential. But for me, in this market, Jerome Boateng, especially if we could get him on loan with an option to buy, I think if Arsenal have to sign him straight away for a transfer fee with big wages and give him maybe 2 or 3 years on his contract, I think that's very risky. But I think if Arsenal can maybe, get him on loan for 6 months with the option to buy him for maybe 10 million in the summer, that then gives us an opportunity to bring him in, which gives us a centre-back that we need. He's tall, he's a leader. We don't know if his legs have gone. That's something that we'll figure out if he comes. But if he does well, you get him for cheap, 10 million. He'd be a backup. Or if he does really well, you could potentially have maybe Saliba and Boateng at centre-back for a year. Which I think if Boateng, depending on how good he is, would be decent. If we had maybe, Socrates, Luiz, Boateng, Saliba and hold it, with Chambers to come back, maybe Mustafi, you sell him, and Mavropanos maybe goes on loan, I think that's okay moving forward. If Saliba really hit the ground running and, David Luiz the last few games has looked a much better player since Arteta's come in. If he can keep that form up, bear in mind that David Luiz is older than Jerome Boateng. So for people to say Boateng's completely finished, you would have probably said in the summer that David Luiz was finished. Let's be honest, David Luiz is probably our best centre-back at this stage. So I think we have to put this deal into context, and especially of where we are right now. We're not in a strong position in the market to go and get these top upcoming centre-backs. I think in Saliba we've acquired one for the summer, but unfortunately we can't get him now. It doesn't seem like St Etienne are willing to allow Saliba to come here now. So for me, if we can get Boateng on loan with an option to buy, it's a no-brainer in my opinion. Another one that looks as if it may go down a similar route is Thomas Lemar. Now, again, dividing opinion. This is a guy we nearly bought for £90 million a few years ago to replace Sanchez. He's gone to Atletico Madrid for big money, and the move hasn't worked for whatever reason. Monaco are a much more expansive front foot counter-attacking side as well. Play a lot quicker. It's gone to Atletico, it's a lot more tactical, and you have to be very hard working and disciplined under Simeone. And it hasn't worked for Thomas Lemar. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean he's a poor player. A lot of people have completely written him off. Now, I don't know how good he still is. He may have just been a guy who suits the French league. But again, if you could get Thomas Lemar on loan with an option to buy, then I think it's a no-brainer. You look at the Arsenal attacking options, and I think we're short, especially in wide positions. I'm talking quality rather than quantity. You've got Martinelli, you've got, Pepe. You're then talking about young players like Nelson, who haven't really proved much in the first team yet. So for me, an attacking player, an experienced player, left foot, French international with a lot to prove, on loan again with an option to buy, would be a no-brainer and something I would explore. Arsenal fans are very much, split on this, but I would go for that, honestly. It's a difficult market, but Arsenal need strengthening. I've said before I'd like to see Arsenal sign a right back. We were linked with Max Aarons the other day. I don't see that deal happening. I don't see Arsenal committing to big money, especially with Ainsley Maitland-Niles, the form he's been in the past few games, and Bellerin coming back now. Although I do think a right back would be a possibility, maybe at the end of the season. And again, this defensive midfield role, but it looks like Xhaka may stay now. I would still like to see a midfielder come in. I've said for a number of weeks I would like Decore, I would like Ndidi, I would like Thomas Partey, someone like that. But I don't see Arsenal committing to that kind of cash in January again. You got to look at the summer transfer window. We spent over £100 million on Pepe, Tierney, Luiz, Martinelli, Ceballos on loan. And we didn't really sell anyone for a major transfer fee. You look at Mkhitaryan, El Neni went on loan. Mustafi we weren't able to sell. Ramsey, Danny Welbeck, Czech, they all left the club on a free. Of course, Czech retired. So we didn't make any big money. Again, no Champions League football, Europa League football again. This season, unless we can win the Europa League, it doesn't look like we're going to get in the top four. So Champions League may not be there again. In the league, we may not even make a Europa League spot. The way things are at the moment, you don't know. So I think it's very difficult for Arsenal Football Club to really go and commit big money in this window because of financial fair play as well. For me as an Arsenal fan, if we came out of this window with Jerome Boateng and Thomas Lemar, I'd be delighted. I'll be honest with you. It's circumstantial, It can't always be, go and get Upamecano, go and get Decore, because we're Arsenal. You have to work within your means. Unfortunately, we're working within this, self-sustained model, and that in itself has restrictions, and it's unfortunate. But this is where we're at. I think in this window, of course, I didn't speak about it yesterday, but it looks as if Arsenal have turned down an offer from Roma for Henrik Mkhitaryan for around 8.5 million. Was it 8.5 million euro? 8.5 million pounds for Mkhitaryan. We should be trying to get more than that. I think at least 15 million quid, but they'll probably meet in the middle. I don't expect us to get big money for him. Maybe around 12, 13 million quid. I think more than anything, we need to get his wage off the wage bill. He's on about £150,000 a week. And they won't be thanking Raiola for that. That deal really hasn't been successful. As I said, it looks like Granit Xhaka will stay at least until the summer. And then, of course, El Neni's still on loan. And at Besiktas, there were rumours of him going to AC Milan in this window. Ivan Gazidis striking again, if that was to possibly happen. I think Mesut Ozil will stay until the summer as well, at least. It looks to me as if Arteta's going to probably build his side around it. I'm actually going to do a video later on in the week about the free transfers that could be available in the summer. I saw a list on Sky Sports, a 20-man list of players who are available on a free in the summer, and there's some interesting names on that. So we'll drop that video later on in the week. As I said, keep subscribing to the channel. I'm nearly at 5,000 subscribers, and I appreciate all your brilliant support. Let me know in the comments what you think, as Jerome Boateng now seems to be transfer target #1 in terms of centre-backs. Thomas Lemar linked again. Let me know what you think. Keep commenting, keep subscribing, support the channel, smash that thumbs up button, and I'll be back next time. Blessed.